Many individuals have reservations as they get closer to witnessing one of the most amazing, yet terrifying, natural phenomena in the universe. The extent of the solar eclipse that will occur on April 8, 2024, remains a mystery to humans, despite thousands of years of evolution and a plethora of new facts on this celestial encounter. It's critical to realize that this is not only a momentous astronomical event, rather, it's a moment when powerful energies are at work, bringing mankind into a new cycle that could hold vast possibilities and profound lessons for everyone on the planet. However, to truly appreciate this eclipse, one must comprehend that it is not just a moment filled with strong energy, but that these energies have the potential to significantly impact every person's inner journey and act as a turning point for many. Since science and human research have proven that eclipses aren't caused by enraged gods or planned by darkness, but rather are a unique opportunity to see the synchronized dance of the cosmos, we have long since dispelled the myths of ancient civilizations that eclipses portend times of darkness and hardship for Earth's occupants. However, there are differing perspectives regarding this eclipse and what it means for each of us, especially from people who are skeptical of it. They contend that even if the energy this incident generated are favourable, they nevertheless have the capacity to turn against us and our procedures. For this reason, today we'll take a quick look at some of the features of this eclipse that we should think about, based on the spiritual wisdom that Dolores has shared with us. In order to guarantee that we utilise the eclipse's energy positively and that our process isn't harmed in any way, we'll also try to outline what we should not do during it. First, a few safety measures to remember during the eclipse. It's certain that this eclipse, which is scheduled for April 8, 2024, will, like any cosmic event, deliver a powerful energetic current that will eventually connect and interact with every soul that lives on our planet. This occurrence may be advantageous to these souls, or on the other hand, it may leave them depleted and in an unbalanced state that may last for as long these energies remain on Earth. People frequently experience extreme fatigue as a result of this eclipse's influence. It is therefore wise to take cover from the energies that this event will produce on Earth. Even while we could think we can control these influences completely, we can eventually be impacted by the strong force that awakens and confronts many people on Earth as a result of this cosmic dance. Therefore, it's not advised to partake in any activities that could tire you out physically or mentally during this eclipse. Because humans are holistic beings, we must keep in mind that physical tiredness might be crucial to our well-being during this contentious time. Such pursuits ought to be swapped out for ones that encourage a close relationship with oneself, such meditation, introspection, and time spent in nature. For these reasons, natural areas where we can spend time alone and in silence are quite helpful. Visiting them at these times is akin to seeking sanctuary, where we will find peace and safety as we wait for the eclipse's electric wave to pass. But we also need to remember that now is an amazing time for aspirations to come true. As this event awakens many souls and places them at significant junctures in their spiritual journeys, its energy can also work in favour of intentions held during it, provided that these intentions are well-defined and unambiguous. As such, one of the key suggestions for April 8, 2024, is to effectively plan and define the desires we hope to realise. Limiting what we are trying to materialize enables us to more fluidly and effectively direct our wishes toward the universe, giving it the strength brought forth by this eclipse to give them shape and space on our earthly plane. We shouldn't be afraid or reluctant to experience this moment of power that the Earth will witness, because it is one of the main good characteristics of the upcoming period. We witness directly the tremendous power that the cosmos possesses and uses to support every one of us in achieving our goals. As a result, we must learn to see this occurrence for what it really is, a combination of cosmic forces that have the power to either push us closer or farther from our goals. Equilibrium energy allows everything to exist and be present, just as everything in the universe has a positive and a negative aspect. We can greatly benefit from acknowledging and respecting these energies as they appear via the eclipse, as they support us in our journey of self-transformation, nurture every aspect of who we are, and help to bring everything into balance. This eclipse serves as a faithful reminder of how the powers of light and darkness may combine to affect everything they touch, in addition to being a sight to behold and the end of a cycle. The same way that there is a perfect time for day and light, there is a perfect time for darkness and night. These energies can even come together within their own spaces to bring about an event that speaks of synchronicity, transformation, and balance, inviting us to become conscious of and in harmony with these aspects of our existence. Everything will appear to us in a new hue and order in this altered state of consciousness, giving us more insight into how to navigate and take advantage of the underlying energy impulses that underlie everything. By doing this, we allow the cosmos to inhabit our reality and provide what our souls long for to us. In order for us to ultimately reach balance and a deeper understanding of each of our goals, which will help us guide our innermost desires towards the universe, it is crucial that we have spaces during this time for in-depth introspection and investigation of our own being. These activities can become powerful catalysts in our life, advancing us on our trip and in the process of manifesting all of our desires. In addition to guiding us through the energetic time opened by the solar eclipse on April 8, 2024, it is highly recommended that, in these and all other moments, we seek the peace that can only be found in times of calm and safety, accepting who we are and our actual mission from those times of seclusion. This does not mean that we should withdraw into ourselves. Rather, it means that we are being encouraged to welcome those brief periods of time when we are by ourselves. It is in these moments that we can find inner peace and clearly define the desires we want to bring into the world through the use of meditation and other methods of introspection and contemplation. Taking up our spiritual path is the second. It's critical to keep in mind that we are spiritual beings with a physical form that leads to a proper place for our soul to perform a role and complete a purpose before leaving Earth. And while there is no way out of this reality at all, very few people have come to terms with it, leaving them to roam the earth like lost souls who will never really build anything or know the wholeness that comes beyond material possessions. But as previously stated, many souls will be violently shaken by this momentous event that occurs on April 9, 2024, bringing them to consciousness and signalling a sea change in their life and the path they are on Earth. There won't be a single place to retreat from the energy that forces us beyond our comfort zones. And while one of the precautions we've discussed calls for us to avoid crowds and areas where high-energy activities are encouraged, this doesn't mean that the forces the eclipse will produce won't still affect us in the middle of peace and quiet. In actuality, the goal here is for this force to arrive in a harmonious environment where we can project and actualize the things we want to use and infuse with positive energy into our life. We cannot protect ourselves during this time if we do not comprehend its nature, the path that has been designated for it, and most importantly, if we do not believe that each of us has been placed in this location for a purpose that, although it may be hidden in our subconscious, still holds true in the face of ignorance. The eclipse that is about to occur before our eyes opens our eyes to the reality of spirituality and the understanding of the aspects of ourselves that are not immediately visible. It also gives us a glimpse of the purpose of our journey in this known physical space and the reality of our soul. Not a single soul exists that is without a purpose or that has been placed somewhere without a valid reason. And while we may be able to ignore this fact due to our narrow viewpoint, it is crucial that we realize that nothing in our lives can be constructed if we are not in harmony with our soul and the path it is on. In light of this, we can see how important it is for each of us to raise our consciousness and embrace our inner spirituality in order to connect with the universe, our purpose, and our mission here on Earth. This will allow us to progressively fulfill all of our earthly goals as we work toward our ultimate goals. And even if for some of these souls this is a slightly more difficult mission, the universe makes sure that none of them stay in the dark and ignorance by placing things in just the right order so that we can receive those bursts of awareness and illumination. This amazing cosmos will never stop pushing us to recognize and value our place in the universe, the reason we are here, and the path that is meant for us. Everything has been meticulously planned to allow us to develop, mature, and reach the point of consciousness that all souls are meant to reach. Some people even experience a strong and voluntary desire for evolution as a result of this solar eclipse's influence. They will use this information to investigate and even test it in order to validate the amazing truth that cries out to us. This eclipse encourages us to accept our spiritual path and align ourselves with our inner self and the ideal frequency inside it. Even if not everything will be difficult and full of obstacles due to the love and ultimate force it holds. Since every one of us was created in a perfect, harmonious and balanced state, the journey itself has the power to change that state. And while doubters will doubtlessly question the eclipse's implications for such deep facets of our existence, only those who know the relationship between the cosmos and the celestial forces that move within it will be able to appreciate how this sublime dance of celestial bodies stands before us to make our experience of the most significant moments in our process.
The energies of this event will displace everything from the past that may have prevented us from recognizing this truth and reaching that equilibrium. Just as the eclipse shows a perfect balance between us and the cosmos, what makes us, and of course our part in the universe. The deepest recesses of our being will be touched by the call of our being, opening hitherto undiscovered points and guiding us to the realization of our actual purpose.
Many will have no question that their existence has a purpose far beyond the visible once these energies start to affect the earth and the souls who dwell upon it. Everything will open up for these people to awaken and accept their spiritual path, as if it were a communal awakening. This may turn out to be just another one of those ideal occasions when humanity as a whole is meant to make the leap of consciousness that is intended for us and that we are searching for from levels well beyond consciousness. We must open our being to understanding the complexities of the universe and our existence in order to balance this with ourselves and our being and protect ourselves from the powerful energetic blows that this eclipse will deliver. To do this, we must rely on practices like meditation and introspection into the depths of our being. Third, our relationship to the planet Earth. The Earth and the spiritual world, which is often invisible to us but will gradually reveal itself as a result of this astronomical event, will overlap in the days preceding the eclipse. The veil separating these realms and different dimensions will appear to thin, enabling even the most skeptic to perceive the connection between these realms. The way everything will eventually become clear can push us to immerse ourselves in the interactions and energies coming from those realms, even to the point of losing our connection with the earth and everything that is inherent to our reality, even though this is a wonderful opportunity for many and confirms what has always been said about the vastness of the universe and the way it harbours more than one civilization. This eclipse is merely an impulse to comprehend the vastness of the universe and the depth of what exists within it. If this impulse is properly directed, it can greatly aid our journey and even assist us in letting go of the barriers that keep us from realizing the deep bonds that exist between souls and the ways in which they transcend space and time. However, there are times when this amazing appreciation of dimensions, details, and beings that are out of alignment with the vibrations of our plane can have unintended consequences that make the person lose touch with their home and become lost in the vastness of the universe being presented. It is crucial that we keep in mind everything related to the location we live in and our part in it. so that we do not let the glories of the universe's vastness and complexity to take us to far-off places. Otherwise, we risk straying among dimensions and energetic currents. It is exciting to allow ourselves to experience the cosmos in a way that is so real and substantial to our senses, but we must resist allowing this enchantment to fool us and turn against us. Very few people learn to appreciate the true complexity of the universe and everything in it. Some even allow the ideologies of one civilization to consume them and live only in the moment. It is impossible to judge those who have not lived in true knowledge and end up marveling at the revelations made to them, because in these cases, when faced with revelations and the energy moving in this April 8th, 2024 solar eclipse, we end up shocked at the amazing way the universe reveals itself to us. That's why it's critical that we practice remembering our place in the universe and the role we play here, creating a kind of grounding cable that keeps us from drifting too far and losing ourselves, so that we can discern between these events and the location where our soul resides. Going barefoot on the earth is one of the very easy practices that truly helps with this, even if it may appear quite sophisticated. This is because going barefoot has a very significant spiritual history and connotation. One of the entrance points for energy into our bodies is our feet. They sense everything they come into contact with, support the body throughout even the most strenuous activities, and carry the weight of our complete existence with integrity and solidity. Since our feet can absorb the energies of the environments we walk in, we typically cover them when we don't think it's appropriate or safe to do so. People frequently remark on how revitalizing it is to stroll along a beach, or even to kick off their shoes and stroll across a field of lush new grass. This is because these activities imbue our feet with the energies of the natural world and places where harmony is breathed. Because those feelings and that energy so strongly attach us to this place where we live, it is advised that we go barefoot in order to preserve our connection to it. It is much more advantageous to perform this practice in a natural setting because the goal is to maintain our direction, which can be achieved by the feelings and energy we gather from walking barefoot on the ground. We should let our feet become a little grubby, since doing so allows them to absorb natural energies that support our optimal health and will come in very handy during this eclipse. Furthermore, we can pursue a deep and fulfilling relationship with nature, which will ultimately lead us to cling to its energies. We will use these natural areas as dependable anchors to help us remember where we are and to appreciate the rest of the phenomena that are not indigenous to this plane. In addition to being the wonderful quality of being the anchor that keeps us in touch with the place we inhabit, the practice of being in contact with nature has been held for thousands of years as a way to appreciate the sublime of the earth and regenerate one's energies, even healing from ailments and torments. Today, this is confirmed. Fourth, preserving our vitality. It is important to realize that these alien energies and phenomena will not only appear before us, but also have the potential to interact with our energy and cause us to become imbalanced at the same time that we witness them visiting our planet. Being comprised of energy, we are always traveling among the energetic currents in our environment, engaging with them and getting responses in return. Energy is never stagnant. That's why dealing with problems in crowded areas is a common topic of discussion. However, because of the solar eclipse, we also need to protect our energy from outside forces that are trying to infiltrate our planet or this plane. We will witness this intrusion of forces that are not native to the Earth, just as the moon and darkness will encroach upon the area of the sun and light. Because we know deep down that this can have a major impact on our energy field, and by extension, on ourselves in our physical manifestation of the interior states we possess, this can be as exciting as it is terrifying for our souls. The eclipse, as it were, opens the door to interaction between spaces, realms, and planes from which thousands of souls are sought to be awakened. It's not that darkness will be allowed to enter our earthly plane and wreak havoc among those who inhabit here and what we know. Transformation and awareness of our surrounds and the forces that move both within and around us are, in fact, two of the goals of this deep moment. Seeing this opportunity presented by the universe therefore becomes essential, because we can only navigate these waves of energy and knowledge that rush over the earth and its inhabitants if we grasp what is happening. To guard against the infiltration of these outside energies, while yet being able to appreciate them from this bubble of safety, we can utilize a visualization exercise to construct a sort of shield that envelops our being and the surrounding energy field. To carry out this protective practice, you must locate a quiet area where you can spend some time alone with no distractions. From there, start by inhaling deeply 3 times, holding the breath for a short while, and then gently releasing it. The body will be assisted in relaxing and elevating as a result of this. Imagine yourself at this stage in the exercise precisely as you are, in the same pose and attire, seeing yourself for who you really are, devoid of any pretenses or the influence of what you aspire to be or seem like. See yourself clearly and honestly in this moment, and start to visualize a strong yellow light enveloping your whole body, head to toe. This light is so strong and powerful that it totally surrounds us and stays with us in the here and now until we choose to do otherwise. It embraces us and shields us from anything outside of it. Recall that after we are done with this visualization, we will inhale deeply once more and return to our everyday lives. We should continue to feel as though this light has followed us, protected us, and given us a place to remain amidst this little energetic storm, even after we have finished this practice. And while though this seems quite basic to us, it can be incredibly helpful in dealing with the impending cosmic event. It's also important to keep in mind that we have the power to call upon our ancestors and spirit guides to assist us, protect us, and provide us with energy during these turbulent times. When this is done, we will come out on the other side with a deeper comprehension and a lot closer to what we want for humanity and ourselves. The planet is truly being altered, much like those people who are still latent in their comprehension of the spiritual. Therefore, let's not let a little darkness trigger the idea that it is being punished. We must always seek evolution, which is inherently tied to change, that we may experience without having to risk or sacrifice our energy. This force is the information, awareness, and opportunity that we are currently being given to experience. In addition to seeking manifestation from the place of safety and protection, these exercises afford us. Calling upon our guides is an act of consciousness from which we ask for protection. 5th, seeing to our psychological well-being. Though it is extreme to believe that the moon and its intrusion into the sun's time and spaces causes madness, we must recognize that some people may be more deeply immersed in moments of internal breakdown as a result of the energy fluctuations we will experience. These moments must be managed appropriately to prevent the person from being helpless against the forces of this eclipse. The cosmic processes we are seeing might induce a high level of emotional and energetic sensitivity, which can give rise to unsolved difficulties, wounds, traumas, intense doubts, negative energy sources, or pessimism. While many choose to ignore these moments and deal with them later, when they feel more prepared, it is not possible to try to postpone during an eclipse because, as previously mentioned, there is a chance that it will represent a point of vulnerability during this event and the combination of forces it brings. Though it may not sit well with many, our energy and our accomplishments are intimately related to the ideas, emotions, beliefs, and even fears we carry within. As a result, we cannot afford to overlook what is taking place, particularly in light of the current solar eclipse. It has been stated that although this eclipse can be beneficial to us, it can also have negative effects. So if our energy is out of balance during this time, we will ultimately bear the consequences of this occurrence. It might even take us to regions that are dark or far from our desires. It is entirely up to us to decide whether or not this eclipse moves us toward our goals and toward the higher state of consciousness that our soul has chosen. We must be aware of the consequences of the decisions we make right now. We can only be in charge of ourselves and the things that influence us if we take a time to recognize and control the parts of ourselves that break us. It becomes vital to think about the possibilities of relying on people during this time, especially those who are close to us and serve as our support system and someone we can turn to when we are doubting ourselves. Simply by listening to us, these individuals may assist us in understanding what is going on inside of us and what unbalances us. They can also offer the consolation we require with a small gesture like an embrace. We all need support at some point, so don't worry if you find yourself in this situation. Considering how sensitive this eclipse is for many individuals, more people than you might imagine will wind up asking for help from others. It is crucial that we treat the responsibility of protecting our existence with great seriousness, particularly since it is frequently disregarded to the point that we lose sight of who we are and what truly goes with us. Before this eclipse, it is lovely and very helpful to take a moment to go within and honestly identify the things that could end up harming us during this time. In addition to being significant, self-recognition is a lovely activity that no one regrets. It can help us protect our essence, give it strength, and discover our own hidden potential. Some people find that this process is more difficult than others, and they must rely on activities like free writing or even journaling, which allow us to recognize the types of ideas, feelings, and memories that frequently cross our minds. By keeping a diary, we can record what we feel is important, explore the aspects of ourselves that reside in the unconscious, and receive clues and messages about those aspects, which we frequently fail to recognize, from there. At this stage, meditations can also be helpful. This is especially true if we are feeling really overwhelmed by a lot of bad memories or sensations. Anything that might help us get calmer is something we should definitely practice. We can only take all that we have identified and handle it in a responsible manner when we are calm and objective, realizing that the outcome of this will only depend on our dedication to and readiness to work on ourselves. We can feel the energies of this eclipse working on us even in these small ways, since the change it brings about is all-encompassing and manifested in our inner selves and the things we allow in. Therefore, if in the past we were reluctant to discuss or reveal anything that even slightly affects us to others, under the powerful effect of this cosmic event, it will become essential, even important, and the transformation will reach the core of who we are. After considering everything, there should be no question that the eclipse is a much more powerful occurrence that seeks to bring about change rather than being a sign of impending doom, or just a matter of the bodies of the stars lining up in perfect harmony. This is a shift that humanity has been marked for since the beginning of time, so rather than resisting it, we need to move forward with confidence, with appropriate energy guarding. We are fortunate to be there for an act of beauty, transformation, connection, and combination between the energies that control power and darkness on April 8, 2024. As this power arrives and strikes, let's seize the chance to develop and bring all of our desires to life, because if we let it and direct it properly, it also creates and transforms. And if, during our conversation, you have thought of another method to protect our essence and our vitality from the effects of this solar eclipse, please share it in the comments area. You might be of great assistance to another person. By subscribing to this channel, you may join this community that strives for education and personal development. Every day is a fresh chance for people to connect and advance their knowledge and abilities. Please feel free to forward this message to anyone you would like to help properly prepare for the eclipse. If you find the material helpful, please like and let me know. We have to part ways for the time being, but we will be exchanging wisdom and light once more tomorrow. So I hope to see you at our next virtual gathering.